Hey everybody, I'm KK.
I'm Kristen.
Together we are
KK Crochet.
Today is Thoughtful Thursday. I have notes. Okay, so today, Thoughtful Thursday is based on scripture from Romans 12, chapter 12, verse 2. It says, "And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God." So, be not conformed to this world. Be not, it means not to get caught up in this world, not to become so focused on the things of the world that you miss what's going on in your spiritual life, that you don't see the blessings of God, that you're not following His path. But I want to talk about, it says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. What does that mean? Well, in this context, it means that you are focusing more on God's way for your life and His plan, His path, and the things of God. And so for the next few weeks, we've talked already about how that you should be thinking about what's good in life, what's pure, what's true, instead of the negative. But the next few weeks, we're going to talk about putting that into action and small things that we can do in our lives that will help renew our mind and put us back where we need to be, or get us thinking in the way we should be. So when I first started thinking about that, I just started thinking about how to shift your mindset. For me, when I talk about these things, most of the time it's something that has come to my mind or something that I can see in my life that I need to change. And when we talk about when we talk about focusing on the positive instead of the negative, I find myself this week thinking about things I'm saying, things I'm doing, the way I'm reacting to things, and finding that it's much more negative than I want it to be. And a lot of times we get in that habit, and then if we stop and think about it, we're like, whoa, that was really bad. You say things and they slip off your tongue, and the more you say them, the more you act like that, the more you become accustomed to that, and you don't necessarily catch yourself because it becomes a habit. So it takes 30 days, I think I've heard, to break a habit. So for the next 30 days or so, we're going to talk about breaking habits. So for this week, what I want you to think about to renew your mind is think of one thing that you can do differently. Maybe it's that way that you answer your phone. Maybe it comes across as harsh when you don't mean it to be. Maybe it's that you don't think before you speak. Maybe it's that you use harsh words or tones with people when you're grumpy, hangry. That means you're very hungry, right? Hangry. Know what that means? Some of this new slang, I don't understand what it means, so I got to ask. So I use it and don't know what it means. That's a whole nother subject. I said something the other day, and Kristen said, "What's that mean?" I said, "I don't know." She said, "No, I'm going to tell you like I tell my daycare kids, or my school kids, if you don't know what it means, then you shouldn't be saying it." Because they had some slang that the kids were saying, and it was something they shouldn't have been saying. And once they found out what it meant, they apologized because they didn't know what it meant. And then what kids do, they follow along, right? So anyway, sometimes you're hungry, really hungry. Sometimes you're sleepy or tired. Sometimes you just don't feel good. No one else deserves for you to take that out on them, especially when it has nothing to do with them, right? But it is very easy to fall into that habit of doing that because you don't feel good, right? And so it's a hard habit to break, but maybe take some time this week to think of one thing that you could change. Maybe it's your environment. Maybe the people you hang around with. Maybe it's the way you react to something. Whatever situation's been irking you the most, that's the one you need to think about for this. And think, what can I do to change it? Because here's the thing. You can't change other people. You can't change what other people think. I mean, you can try, but let's face it, that's normally not going to happen. You can't physically make them change how they think. You can't change what other people do, and you can't change how other people treat you. We used to have a circle, I remember one of the school counselors showing, and it said, here's the things that you can change: your behavior, how you react, how you think about it, and what was the other one? Your reaction, your behavior. That's behavior. So how you think about it, how you treat others, all those things are things you can change. So focus on what you can change in small increments. Do not set out to do something monumental, okay? We're going slowly, because habits that last, changing bad habits into good habits last when you do it in small amounts and you adjust to it over time. Same thing with diets. It lasts when you make a lifestyle change and you keep it permanently. I'm having to do that now. Some success, some not so. It's not such a success, but small increments I found out work better than great big changes. So find something this week that you can do that would renew your mind, that will change the way that you perceive things. Because I promise you, if you start to react more positive towards things and deal with the things that you can change, that you will feel better in the long run, and therefore you will have a more positive outlook, and it will change the way you see things. So I'm going to work on that this week. How about you come along with me and work on it this week, and let's see what kind of change we can do. How much renewing of the mind can we do this week? Come back next week for Thoughtful Thursdays, and we'll talk about another way to renew your mind. Don't forget to be kind, because
you don't know anyone else's journey.
Bye.